Well, welcome back to another video, and just another old windy day on the farm. Things making a lot of rattling noise and everything else. So, looks like the school bus is coming through. Yep, I don't ride that bus this year. I didn't ride it last year. I drove a car, but no more school for me, thank God. I feel sorry for all them kids having to go up there and deal with all them idiots in the school, the teachers and stuff. Like I say, a man cannot teach what he does not know. But yet they teach, they let people teach, even though they don't know anything. Yeah, unfortunately, as you can see out there, had that one die. She had given birth to this little guy right here. The little guy didn't make it, so we had to kind of, you know, pull him out in order for her to survive. Unfortunately, she didn't make it through the procedure. Well, she made it through the procedure, but about an hour or so later, she didn't make it. You know, and must have messed up the internals, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Got a whole load of manure and crap on up and over there. Got to deal with. So, hoping to get this front loader, this Ford front loader working. But I'll get you guys over there in a second. So I've been having problems with my animals. My sheep, they've been jumping my fence and stuff. So I think I'm gonna raise the barbed wire up a couple, or all the way up to the top. That way they can't get through it. But my goats, I've been having problems with them. They seem to just walk right on through the wire. Don't understand why it's doing that. I have a 120 mile 8 joule box, so it should be shocking the crap out of them. I mean, I've even switched it out with a 16 joule box, and that thing didn't work real well. I mean, it worked pretty good, but I mean, it didn't stop them too well. But here's the new car here, brand spanking new, to me that is. Anyway, it's a used car. But so the previous owner had hit a deer, put a brand new front plate on it. Got a side fender from the junkyard or something. They had a hood on there. I took the hood and I switched it out with a different hood. This is a 2003 Ford Mustang, and I have a car up there at the workshop. As you can see right there, that Mustang up there. And I swapped the hoods, and in the process I ended up breaking this thing off, so I got to get a new one. Well, I have a new one, but it doesn't work, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But yeah, she's fairly clean, you know, real nice. Go look in her. Got some trash over there in the seat, and trash and door and the floorboard there. But I mean, she's really nice and clean on the inside. I mean, just phenomenal. So she had some problems with the transmission a little bit. It was kind of jerky, but after driving it all day yesterday and everything, she's doing good. Unfortunately, don't know why my radio doesn't work. Dang door. Ow, my legs. Ah, dang. Freaking closed on my legs. Holy. But, yeah, she had a radio in here previously, and she swapped the radio out. I had this radio from the Mustang up there. I put this in, but unfortunately it's not working. So you might be asking, well, why did you switch the radio? Well, the one that she put in there was working for a while, and then it stopped working. Well, I took it out, and I took a look at it and everything. I found that it has a fuse, a 10 amp fuse. Well, I switched the fuses out, and it worked. But I just didn't like it. It looked horrible and everything. So, went ahead and put this thing in here, and nothing. Not a thing. I don't understand. So, but yeah, she's real nice. She starts up on a dime, and I haven't had any problems with that. So yeah, she's got a rear bumper. They had put a a Cobra bumper on it for dual exhaust. However, this car does not have dual exhaust yet. Hoping to do that in the future. That's another thing. I've never noticed this with a Mustang. The one up there and the Mustangs I've seen, they never have. I've never seen this on there. So I thought that was neat. But yeah, she definitely needs a new coat of paint. That's for sure. But yeah, the wheels on there, they are not the original ones. They are actually Cobra rims. They're actually 18-inch. The ones that are supposed to go on there are 16-inch. So that means when you take tight corners, you know, you have risk of it rubbing on the fender and everything, which isn't too good. So I gotta definitely fix that. But yeah, here's the garden. Quick update on that too. So as you can see, all them leaves that I had in here, they're all gone. They've all kind of been mulched in and everything. So I mean, it looks real beautiful, real beautiful. So this side, because I had a piece of glass, because I had roots growing in this last year, I had plants. The soil is more stable. If we get over here, this is the new expansion, and it's not too bad. But I went the other day, I went to step foot in this thing, and my foot just sunk immediately. So, but she isn't really I had a problem when it rained and stuff. She was holding water, but it seems to have solved itself, which is real good. So, but yeah, you can see that the grass is growing here now, which is really good for my situation now. So the animals, I have them actually back here, free ranging. So I have some in the yard here. I apologize for the wind and the noise it's making and everything. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. But yeah, so the apple trees are doing good. The pear trees are doing good. I just come out here this morning, and this thing was starting to bloom. Looking at it now, the blooms are really coming out real good now. So yeah. Oh, the pear tree's starting to bloom too. It didn't bloom this morning, but it looks like it's coming now. That's nice. Just gotta love nature. But yeah, I got some animals here in the yard, some of the sheep. In the backfield here, that back hay field. They're eating that, having a good old time. But yeah, so not much has changed. I mean, I've got some stuff out of the yard here. I've been cleaning up the yard and stuff, raking leaves and stuff and everything. Started on this project. So the motor in this is locked up. So I went ahead and I took a 2-liter bottle, acetone, and automatic transmission fluid, and I've got about a liter in that 2-liter bottle of that stuff, half and half of automatic transmission fluid and acetone, right? And I went and I poured it into each cylinder. So I poured as much as I could into each cylinder. I poured one. I started with that one, and then went that one, and went that one. Fortunately, when I got to that one, because this piece is on that thing, and you can't get this funnel in there straight like you could on these. It actually spilled out over the side, and it went all over the ground. So I didn't catch it until I started hearing like something like dripping. I was like, huh. Turned on the light. Sure enough, whole mixture's on the ground. I don't even think a drop ended up in the cylinder. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get that thing running. I really need to get that running. But yeah, you can see the yard here. I've been cleaning up and everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these rugs. They're not even mine. They're my mom's and stuff. I have a clothes hanger so I can clean them and stuff. I don't know when she's coming to get them. Makes you wonder. But yeah, as you can see, the backyard, you know, it's nice and clean. The grass is starting to really grow. Hopefully the pecan tree, oh I'm sorry, the pecan tree will start growing some leaves on her soon. Lamb chop there. How's it going, lamb chops? That's actually, I don't know if that's, I'm pretty sure it's a male, but I've noticed that some of my females are actually growing horns. And I don't understand why that's happening like that. It's kind of weird. But yeah, anyway, so I've been cleaning up the yard and everything, burning a whole bunch of stuff in the driveway here, because I was just going to throw it in the woods, but I was like, well, I could burn it in the driveway and kill some of that grass back. And it did a pretty good job killing some of that grass back. But yeah. So, but let's get to the real point of this video, and that is an update on this thing. So I believe I posted the video a while back, can't remember, pretty sure I did, of talking about what is the future of this thing. And I've come to the verdict that I'm just going to scrap it. I mean, it's just taking up so much room and everything that I'm just going to take it to the scrapyard. I've already got a guy coming out here next week with a flatbed trailer, so I got to get all this stuff out of the way, and he's going to put this thing on that trailer, and he might have to cut it in half because this trailer isn't too big. But unfortunately, no, I was messing with you. I would not say, I think I would just keep this thing as like a decoration type piece in my front yard, but no, this thing is not going to a scrapyard. Good God, no. I did have a guy offer me $100 for it. I think he was an old timer. I think he might have been stuck in the year 1950 or something. I don't know, but yeah, this thing is definitely not worth $100. It's worth a lot more than that for parts, and it's definitely not junk, I can tell you that right now. It's pretty good. So, had some issues, as you guys remember. If you guys remember a couple years ago working on this thing, seems like a long time now. It's going to be almost 3 years coming up this fall. You know, wow. Time sure does fly. Holy. I was still in high school. Yeah, but, so, anything you need to know, this is a, 1993 GMC 3500 crew cab extended bed. Well, 8-foot bed. And it's a dually. Now, the motor in it is a 6.5 turbo diesel. And it's pretty good. Oh, that goes to the starter. Whoops. That little, can I get it to focus? That little piece right there goes to that starter. I had it in my pocket and I lost it. Well, I lost it and I found it, had it in my pocket, and then lost it again. And now I found it. Now I'm probably going to put it in my pocket, but I'm going to put it over there so I don't lose it 100% this time. But yeah, so this truck it's a diesel truck, so of course it runs on a 24-volt system. You got your 12-volt battery over here and your 12-volt battery over there. Well, my thing was, I thought that the thing was locked up, because, you know, I went over here and I tried to move this thing, and as you can see, it's hard to move. If you go over this side, same thing pretty much. But you know, I started looking at, I don't think you guys are going to see it, but I started looking at that bottom pulley right in there. You guys could see it. And I noticed that that thing was moving, right? Well, I was like, maybe this thing ain't locked up. Maybe it's a starter. So I took the starter off. You know, I was only getting 12 volts to it. I wasn't thinking about it at the time that it was a 24-volt system. I was like, I'm sorry, I wasn't getting 12. I was getting 12 volts to it, but it wasn't doing anything. So I was figuring maybe it was the starter. So took it up there to Battery Barn. That's up there in Petersburg, Colonial Heights area. And they said they went up to the bench. They took it over. I gave it to them. They took it over to the bench. They put voltage to it. And that thing went. It worked real good. And he told me, it was like, well, I got 15% on my battery. Wow. Anyway, but so he told me, I was like, well, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it's a starter. I I mean, it could be the solenoid on this thing, but I mean, I doubt it. What I think it is, I think you got a grounding issue or something. I think something's grounding it out. And I was like, yeah, it could be. I didn't really take a in-depth look at it. I just took a quick glance type thing on it. And so I brought it home, put it back on, and looking around, I seen a loose wire, connected that. That had nothing to do with it. I was looking around, and that's probably my own stupidity fault. I guess I'd taken this battery off or something, right? And this one right here, something was clicking over here. I couldn't figure out what it was, but it was clicking. And so I'm like, what is that clicking noise? I was like, could it be the starter? You go down over here and listen for it. It's up here somewhere. It ain't the starter, it's up here somewhere. So I'm looking around, like, what is it? And I finally found it. It's that thing right there. That thing's doing that clicking, that relay. Well, sure enough, I backtracked where that cable is, what's going on with it. And it's this cable right here. That thing won't even connect it. So I'm like, could that be it? Sure enough, I put that thing on there, go start it up. That engine started moving. I was pissed at myself. Tell you the truth about that. I was like, all these 2-3 years, and that thing ain't running because that freaking thing, all because of one little wire wasn't connected. So that battery over there was connected to that starter, but that battery right there won't connect it to it. So I hooked it up, made sure everything was good. I didn't have this thing, as you guys remember, it had low oil in it. So I went ahead, yesterday I went up to Walmart and got some motor oil for it. I was deciding what to get because I use Rotella 15. This uses 15W40, the same as the tractor. And I was deciding which one to get, Rotella or Mobil 1. Well, I went ahead and got the Mobil 1. That way it's easier on my maintenance schedule and stuff. That way, schedule my maintenance logs and stuff. That way I can tell, okay, I got a receipt for this. This is how much money I've put into the truck. This is how much money I've put into the tractor. Alright, cool. So I went ahead and did all that. I changed the oil, put a brand new oil filter on there. You can, video ain't even focusing right, but you can see that oil filter down there, that's brand new. I got that old oil filter. Unfortunately, I thought it was just a regular Fram. It's actually a Tough Guard or something. That's good for 15,000. This one's good for 10,000. So I mean, I'll probably change it at 8,000 or so just to be on the safe side. But yeah, real good, real good. Got all that done, and that's one thing I don't like about this Mobil 1 oil is this stuff is clear. You cannot see that stuff right on the dipstick. It is hard to find. When I started pouring that stuff in, I was looking at that dipstick trying to figure out where that oil level is. And I got about a gallon. This takes 7 quarts. I got about 1.5 gallons in there. About half a gallon in here. So that's probably about, I would say, 5 quarts in there, right? Well, 6 quarts. It's 1.5 gallons. I got about 6 quarts in there, right? And I can't even tell. Well, I started that thing up and this engine actually moved and stuff. And that's actually what I'm going to try to do now, see if this thing won't start. I got a pretty good amount of oil in there now. Let me put this fuel cap back on. And this fuel is it's 5 years mixed with 3-year diesel in it. And I think I'm just going to have to drain the whole thing. It does have some additives in it. But I believe I'm going to have to drain the whole thing now. Just because, I hope I didn't lose the key. Just because, it's just old and everything. And I think that's why the truck won't stay running. It's because of that. So we'll go ahead and let them glow plugs do their work, and I'll get back to you. Alright, well, it took about a couple minutes for the glow plugs to work, but we're going to see if she can't start. reset here. Holy, about blew her up. She went up to 4,000 RPM. Holy. But yeah, so she probably only run about 30 seconds or so. It's warm today, so I'm hoping she'll run a little longer. She's already having a little bit of problems here. She's sputtering. Come on, girl. She's having a little bit of problems. Yeah. You can hear her. She ain't liking it. But she's running. That's nonetheless. But I got 2% on my phone, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to end the video here before my phone dies completely. But listen to that kitty cat bird. Huh? Beautiful. I think I'm just going to cut her off real quick though. Because 100% I'm not really too sure how much oil I got in there. I know I got about 6 quarts in there, but I need the whole 7. So, but anyway, I got 1% on my phone. I'm going to end the video here. Got to clean it up and everything. Got to get it going again. But remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. Do whatever you want to do. I don't really care. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it'll be soon. Give you an update on this truck. And I'll see you then.